Hey, is it possible that Atletico will actually end up losing all 3 matches against Barca? Some fans must be worrying about exactly that after witnessing the recent game and then looking ahead to the upcoming 2-legged Champions League quarterfinals between the two teams. In matchday 30 of La Liga, Atletico took the lead thanks to a goal from Giuliano Simeone, but then they were immediately equalized just 3 minutes later. Toward the end of the game, they suffered a comeback loss right in the 87th minute. This marks Atletico's 2nd consecutive defeat in La Liga, falling to their 2 biggest rivals, Real Madrid and Barcelona. However, Barca shouldn't be fooled by that fake drunken boxing act. Mundo Deportivo, a newspaper that is very close to the Blaugrana, just brought up a point. This could just be a bait for an all-in gamble at Camp Nou in the middle of this week. Diego Simeone carries the blood of a cunning hunter in his veins. The Spanish press suspects that the defeat right at the Metropolitano seems to be an intentional low note, aimed at blinding their opponent. The 16-point gap before the ball even rolled, which then widened to 19 points, made this matchday 30 showdown feel a lot like a mere formality. The capital team already waved the white flag in the championship race 2 months ago. On the flip side, their ticket to next season's Champions League remains absolutely safe. Atletico still sits in 4th place, leaving Real Betis far behind by 12 points. With the maximum remaining points being only 24, dropping 3 points against the Catalan giants is not a total disaster. It might even be a strategic step backward to prepare for a massive forward leap on the main battlefront. The online community immediately erupted into multi-dimensional debates. On the Reddit forum, an account named Colchonero Blood commented, "Let them win this game, and then we will give them a huge surprise right at Camp Nou. Master Simeone is casting a massive net." A Catalan fan immediately fired back, "A loss is a loss, don't make excuses. Just wait and see. The upcoming Champions League clash will just repeat the exact same scenario of collapsing in the 87th minute." Did you guys pay attention to the matchday squad list on Saturday? Looking at the names starting from the opening whistle, everyone has to ask themselves, where did the real core players of Atletico actually go? The truth is that the Argentini head coach actually locked a whole host of his key starters away in the vault. Julian Alvarez, Ademola Lookman, and David Hanko did not appear on the grass for even a single minute. Jan Oblak had to sit out for the 4th consecutive match due to a muscle injury. Marcos Llorente was absent due to a suspension after racking up a full tally of 5 yellow cards. Diego Simeone fielded a patchwork, heavily shuffled lineup that made even the data analysts scratch their heads in confusion. Thiago Almada was deployed to play as a true forward to support Antoine Griezmann. Alex Baena, a playmaking-oriented number 10, was shifted over to lock down the left flank. Nico Gonzalez had to drop deep to shoulder the defensive responsibilities as a defender. Over in the midfield area, 20-year-old Obed Vargas, who had rarely played since the beginning of the season, was handed the heavy responsibility of starting the match. Even Clement Lenglet, who is normally the second choice behind Hanko, found his name penned into the starting lineup. The newspaper Mundo Deportivo also revealed a highly intriguing detail right before the ball started rolling. Before the referee blew the opening whistle, Atletico's coaching staff actually registered both Alvarez and Lookman to play. These 2 heavy offensive weapons even stepped out onto the pitch to warm up. However, when the entire squad returned to the locker room, he abruptly changed his mind. It was a psychological blow intended to completely disrupt the opponent's man-marking game plans. After the final whistle, Diego Simeone himself confirmed that highly unusual calculation. "This is the ideal time for Lookman, Julian Alvarez, and the other players I did not use to get some rest." That cold, hard statement made one truth crystal clear. The top priority at this moment no longer lies in the domestic playground. The coaching staff is putting all of their minds and focus into the Champions League quarterfinals and the upcoming Copa del Rey final clash against Real Sociedad over in Seville. The most outstanding bright spot in this thick smokescreen of tactical deception was exactly the presence of young blood. The Argentine strategist boldly handed out an opportunity to Javi Morcillo and Taufik. These 2 rising stars, aged 20 and 18, stepped out onto the field amidst rounds of encouraging applause. Facing off against top-class stars like Pedri or Lewandowski, they played with pure determination and showed very little hesitation or fear. Coque Resurrection was forced to take the field due to a personnel crisis, but he only grinded it out for exactly the 45 minutes of the first half. Antoine Griezmann, their most crucial offensive spark, even though he didn't lose any energy during the national team break since he retired from the French squad back in September 2024, also only played for 60 minutes. Alex Baena left the pitch in the 60th minute, making way for Alexander Sorloth, who had just returned from the Norwegian national team not too long ago. Meanwhile, Robin Lenormand and Nahuel Molina had to grind through the full 90 minutes. Despite the careful calculations, this rotation gamble could not avoid some serious risks. In the 86th minute, trouble came crashing in. Jose Maria Jimenez, the center back wearing the captain's armband after coming on to replace Lenglet, for the final 30 minutes collapsed on the pitch in agony. His relentless efforts to clear the ball were completely overshadowed by a haunting grimace as he walked down into the tunnel. Sources from Mundo Deportivo confirmed that the Uruguayan player felt a sharp pain in his foot following a clearance inside the penalty area. Whether he can recover in time for the quarterfinal is now hanging in the balance like a ticking time bomb. A fan going by the account name ATM Warrior exclaimed on X, "Losing Jimenez right now is no different from stripping away our own sturdy shield. No matter how well you hide your cards, injuries are a risk nobody can predict." Another comment, however, showed a lot of optimism. "Don't worry, Hanko and Lenormand are fully capable of locking down Lewandowski. Our team is always born out of adversity." So this coming Wednesday night, when the lights at the Camp Nou sanctuary shine bright, just how complete of an Atletico team will the world get to witness? This showdown is merely the opening stage of the Champions League quarterfinals, right before the fiery second leg returns to Madrid. The expected lineup has already been mapped out in detail by the coaching staff. Jan Oblak will return to stand between the goalposts. Guarding the area ahead of him will be the defensive quartet of Matteo Ruggeri, David Hanko, Robin Lenormand, and Nahuel Molina. Over in the midfield, Koke and Marcos Llorente will form a sweeping machine. The two flanks will be handed over to Simeone and Lookman, acting as a launching pad for the attacking duo of Alvarez and Sorloth. In the continental playground, Barcelona pocketed 5 championship titles during the period between 1992 and 2015. Over a decade of waiting for glory is simply far too long of a time for them. This season, the Catalan attacking line scored a massive 22 goals in the group stage, sitting just 1 goal behind Arsenal. Their destructive power was perfectly showcased through an 8-3 aggregate victory over Newcastle United, which included a 7-2 thrashing right at Camp Nou. Regarding their head-to-head history, Barcelona holds 40 wins compared to 21 triumphant victories for the capital's representatives, along with 18 draws. The two encounters at Camp Nou this season wrapped up with an aggregate score of 6-1, heavily leaning toward the home team. The visiting squad hasn't actually tasted victory at this sanctuary since December 2024. Even so, the light of glory always recognizes those who know how to rise above. In a stretch of 4 seasons from 2014 to 2017, Atletico appeared in 2 finals and 1 semifinal. They directly eliminated Barcelona themselves from this prestigious arena twice,